Hi everyone, today I'm here with my What are you friend? What are you friend?
I suppose a British friend.
Your British friend.
A British friend who lives in America.
But I'm an American friend that lives in England.
We're part of an exchange program. A YouTube exchange.
Exchange program.
You guys can have Evan. We'll take Tim.
Now Tim lives in California.
Interchangeable white men with glasses.
Yeah.
Like, I took off the glasses because otherwise we'd be too similar.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, there's two white guys talking about visas. Also, you speak fluent Belge.
I speak Dutch.
Dutch.
Yes. You knew that one. How much time did we overlap in the UK? At least 2 or 3 years.
2 years.
Right.
I think one of the first parties I ever went to was at your house in Canary Wharf, and I knew anyone except Jack and Dean, and I was like, Jack and Dean. Today, Tim and I are going to be talking about the most interesting thing you can think of as a viewer, visas.
We thought to ourselves, what are the things YouTube audiences really want to know about?
Paper. This is my personal life, right? This is getting into all that stress that I've talked about. Anytime, like, throughout the last 5 years, you've seen me make a video like, guys, I'm really stressed about my visa. Now you'll know all the nitty-gritty details, and we'll see who has it worse, me or Tim. We'll see. I'm actually curious. I don't know. I always keep thinking it's me.
It's a two YouTubers do the get a visa challenge.
Get a visa challenge. British and American boy try visa process. Cool. So, first off in the process, how long have you had your visa now?
When I first moved to America, which is in 2014, I was on a student visa. Mm-hmm. And then since then, I have been approved for a O1 visa, which is often nicknamed the artist visa, but I think the official title is something like, you are an alien of extraordinary ability.
You're an extraordinarily... You know, that's actually what I am.
Yeah, it's my joke is that I'm an extraordinary alien. I put that on my Twitter bio. It says writer, creator, extraordinary alien.
In the UK, it's known as exceptional talent.
Got it.
So I came to the UK 5 years ago on a student visa, and then I transferred to a tier 2 visa, which means that like a company has to sponsor me.
Right.
And then I kept switching tier 2, which means more and more company had to sponsor me. And now I'm on the tier 1, which is the O1 basically.
Cool.
I'm exceptionally talented in my field. No one else can do it quite like me. I've gotten a visa for like 5 years.
Interesting. Yeah. So did you have to do the thing where you basically had to put your job on the market and like prove that no one can do what you can do?
Every time I got any visa. So that's the worst part of the tier 2 visa was if I apply for a job, it's like, okay, so we got this job offer from Evan Edinger. He's American though. Oh no, we have a British person that's kind of similar. He's hired. That's it. Like if any British person applies for the same job and they have similar stats to me, I don't get the job.
Yeah, that's. I think it's
for 30 days. It has to be on the market.
Whenever I explain it to people, I say, if it's already hard for highly qualified people,
imagine being a highly qualified alien.
Yeah. Well, exactly, and it's also funny because you basically have to make the argument that there is not a British person, or in my case, an American person, who can do what I can do. And as everyone knows, that the truth of that is complicated.
Yes, but usually if you have a really rad employer that likes you as a person. I've had job employers that say, we'll put out a different job posting that says things like, must be really good at stats, and also have a large YouTube following. And I'm like, no one's got that. I've got that under my belt. And it was slightly relevant because it proves that I'm a self-made person.
Right.
But no one applying is going to be.
Well, it was similar for me.
Category.
So in my visa, what was interesting was I couldn't necessarily argue that I was a traditional filmmaker.
Yeah.
Because, to prove that, I would need box office receipts or movies that have... And so...
Have you heard of Godzilla?
Yeah.
Okay, he's in.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. The people who get this visa are often people who have credits on these like traditional big films.
Yeah.
And so there I am basically saying, I make videos on the internet and people watch them.
Yeah.
For instance, my title is something like, I'm a multimedia content creator.
That sounds like what we're here at VidCon for, to talk to people that use that word.
I like that your job basically meant we need someone who can do all these things and has to be a YouTuber.
Has to be internet famous. I remember for my crazy hard tier 1 visa, I had to get a letter of recommendation from like my previous CEO, founder of a company, like a VP of marketing, saying that I was super duper good and one of the best in the field, which is really flattering when I'm able to get those. But I've heard a rumor that you got a letter from a certain director.
Yes, I did. I don't know if I should say this. But
who reminds me of Batman?
Yeah, we'll put it at that.
If I was the visa officer, I'd be like, I know that one. Yeah. You're in. Come on in. That's cool. That's cool as heck.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm sure you relate to this then, just the process of getting all those letters of recommendation.
It's so
stressful. It is the most awkward thing. And
I've never really talked to you that much.
Yeah, but I need you and your influence to vouch for me. Also, I'm going to draft up the letter because the language is very specific and I need it to hit these things. Speaking of lawyers, I'm sure that you must have then had...
I had a solicitor.
Right, so you had the same process where, you basically meet with a lawyer and you discuss your case and the things that you have, and then to kind of you together with your lawyer strategize what's the most likely way.
Yeah, what's the best plan of attack of getting approved.
One of the things that genuinely comes up, not only amongst a lot of immigrants, but in America, the quickest way to get a visa is to marry someone.
Oh, I mean, I always make jokes about that, but supposedly in the UK, they're
it's not as simple.
No. For instance, you have to have both met at least one of their parents, provided they're alive. So... you have to do that. You have to have
That's fine.
live together.
Just find an orphan
to marry. Find an orphan to marry. Not that hard. Batman. And then have shared expenses and stuff. Yeah. And at one point when I was literally living with Dodie, I was like, Dodie, listen, you're the only person that's ever... she's the only YouTuber that's ever met my mom. I met her mom. We lived together at the time. We shared expenses, and I was like, come on, marriage for visa land. Didn't work.
People kept telling me you'll likely be eligible for the O visa, so I never seriously considered marrying someone for the visa. Or
I was looking for any relationship, so I mean, I thought I'd be married by now. I don't know.
Well, I always thought to myself, either way, if you're dating someone, to me it puts a strange pressure on the relationship if you go.
It's like that letter of recommendation. So can you marry me? For the visa. I don't love you.
Almost, how much do you love me? This is the time to put it.
You love me enough to help me stay in the country. We can always annul it later.
It was interesting because some of my friends genuinely talked about it. I don't think any of them actually did it, but for some of them it was genuinely one of the more likely ways to make it happen because it's awkward. It's awkward if you don't have the credentials. I think we are genuinely benefited by being YouTubers. Yeah, I'm sure in both of our separate applications, it was a tremendous asset to be able to.
I barely used YouTube.
Right? Interesting. Okay, but your social following a little bit. Or do you not mention that at all?
No. I have quite a strong foundation of my degree and my marketing jobs, so I didn't need YouTube. YouTube wasn't at all on my visa. They don't give them to YouTubers in the UK. Maybe it's a bit more difficult for us. Maybe. In the UK, it used to be very simple. If you were going through a very skilled degree, such as a master's, or even if you were finishing a bachelor's, you could then transition very simply into a job. Right after you graduated, you had a 6-month period where any company that wants to sponsor you can do it without doing the 30-day look for other Brits test.
Interesting.
So I got a job within 2 days. I got approved and they went, cool, you're hired, done. I got the visa sponsored. It was amazing. Every time after that, when you transition from tier 2 to tier 2, it's then the whole, any Brits want this guy's job? Which is a bit annoying. However, Theresa May, lovely Satan, a human person, she was the Home Secretary of England, and she closed that loophole.
Wow.
So if you are studying in the UK now and you hope to live there, and you're from abroad, you can't.
Yeah,
they make you fly back to your home country and apply from abroad because they know that no company is going to be able to meet with you in person or want you, and they just want to keep out all immigrants, which is confusing because we're skilled laborers. It's not I think that's
I'm
working at Top Man. I don't get
the amount of money that you're expected to earn to be eligible for the visa has become huge. So it's become very unlikely for people to be able to do it. And I agree. What's interesting is the way I always see it, and I suppose elephant in the room, we're two people from.
I'm very privileged, maybe.
We're people of privilege who could go back home. Yes. So we have a certain benefit there. But what I always find humbling is when I then take a moment to realize, if it's this hard for me and it costs this much money...
Imagine how hard it would be for people that were not in our position.
Exactly. Or what if you were from one of the countries that's on the list right now? Or, it's just... It's interesting to sort of...
If I'm complaining, I can't imagine how hard it is for everyone else.
Yeah. I can't leave the US right now until I go back to the UK. So... I had, because I have to go to the...
What? Are you in a catch-22?
I have to go to the UK-US embassy to get this stamp before I can then re-enter the country under my new visa status as an O1. So it was very funny because my girlfriend's family sent me a message sort of inviting me out to Mexico. We're going to go to Mexico. And I had to go, I can't leave the United States. And so...
Once you get the visa, you have to be thankful, never leave.
Yes. Well, those are my options, basically, were I could either just choose to stay here for 3 years and not travel, or if I leave, I need to make sure I leave to the UK, get the stamp, and come back.
I appreciate the same thing once you get it stamped. I can freely travel in and out. I mean, I'm in the US right now for VidCon. Got my VidCon badge on. Thanks for saying hi. Then I'm going to do a road trip this week.
I got a badge too.
Yeah! And then, like, I can go back to England, or I can travel anywhere I want. That's really convenient. But I've had times where I was scared to travel. Like, when I'm in between visas, it's like, will I be denied entry because they know that I've just lost my job? Who knows? But luckily, the best thing about England's system is they're very bad at organization. It's just a lot harder to find a job if you're an immigrant.
Yeah.
Wow. 1,400 for my solicitor, and then it was like 1,700 just for the visa, and then I also had to pay 1,000 for my NHS for 5 years, 200 a year.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I remember you telling.
All my money sunk into this, but I really want to stay here, so it's worth it.
Here in
the
Anaheim?
UK. Not in Anaheim, no.
I think the initial quote I was given was, this is going to cost approximately $5,000, which is the money it'll cost for them to prepare the visa and do all the work for you. You have to give it to them and then they organize it.
Yeah.
But it's funny, you're paying them a lot of money to organize all your stuff. You basically show up and go,
help me.
Can this help?
It. Yeah.
Like, will this help me stay? and then they edit through it and they find, for instance, one of the things that was beneficial for me is that I've been mentioned in both The Hollywood Reporter and Variety. Just my name has been mentioned in those two articles, and so that's legitimizing. And you don't know if you're going to be able to be in the country in August.
Yeah,
so
that's
it makes
so
you,
sad and scary.
It makes you have to sort of plan a little bit more for the short term. I'll always remember getting my car serviced in Los Angeles, and then they always give you a date for when you have to next bring in your car. It said June. And I remember back then it was like February. And I remember thinking, maybe.
Maybe I won't be here.
Yeah, stuff like that. You don't know if you're going to be around, so you get anxious about planning and forming certain connections. And should I decorate my room? I'm not sure, because I might have to pack it all down.
Maybe it's not worth it.
Yeah.
You know, when I was transitioning from my first visa, the Tier 4 student visa, to the first job, I actually got it 2 days before I was scheduled to leave the country.
Wow.
That's how down to the wire I was. I had almost given up hope, but I finally got a job to sponsor me 2 days before. And luckily, like I said, when you're transitioning from student, it's super easy originally. So that was nice, but literally every week leading up to that was all my friends I've made. Everything I've built here, all will be gone in fire soon unless I make this happen. I actually read the 62-page documentation multiple times on the UK visa, all the applications I filled out. The only thing that I needed the solicitor to do was, like you said, make sure I didn't make any mistakes.
Right.
So I did all the work. I sent it all in. I just took it to him, gave him 2 hours to be like, help me write my cover letter. That was what I needed.
Right.
Because I just remember being at work and then just like reading these 62 pages and being like, I want to die. There's so many different phrases and words.
Yeah, but the kind of visa I was applying for, I'm not allowed to apply for it.
It has to be a
representative applies on behalf of you. So, and it made sense. My manager wanted me to stay in the country, so it's authentic, it's real. But he's the petitioner. I'm the
client.
Yeah.
Is there a man walking around with a boot?
Yes, and he's collecting money or something.
Okay, there's a man walking around with a boot.
That's what we've been looking at this whole time.
That's just out in the street right now.
But
he needs a visa.
Do you have a permit for that boot?
He needs a bootlegger.
Wouldn't be an Evan video.
No, I needed a pun. Did you know that you have to make at least $35,000 to stay in the UK?
Right. Wow. Yeah.
That's the number. So I have a question. Are you going to be trying to get U.S. citizenship down the line? The indefinite leave to remain, it's called in the UK.
Oh. That will depend, because
that's how I was when I first moved. I said, maybe we'll see, and then I was like, please.
If I in 2020 still want to stay, then it makes sense to probably try for not necessarily citizenship, but definitely a green card, so that you.
Do you know the Star Spangled Banner?
I'll have to learn all these things.
You better.
It's just that extra hassle every time.
Yeah, it is so stressful every time. I can do anything I want in the US, but in the UK it gets weird. But 2 more years, I'll be able to apply for my indefinite leave to remain.
Interesting. Cool.
And then after that, another year, I then can do the British citizenship test, which means I have to find out about who the tutors are and some British history I've never heard of.
Yeah.
For me, it says how long are you going to stay, and I say exactly what's on my visa as well.
Got it. Yep.
Like, I don't say, oh, yes, I'd like to live here. I just say, I'm here for what I'm here for. I'm not trying to make any trouble here, not trying to take your jobs.
Yep.
Doing what I'm doing.
But you are there to take the jobs.
Oh, yeah.
You're there to take all
I'm taking
the
jobs
British
that
people's
no British person can do. Be Evan Edinger, pun extraordinaire. Do you think the process is a bit more? I think it's probably a bit similar in the UK and the US.
Yeah,
then.
it sounds remarkably
The
similar.
only thing that's slightly different is there's no way someone could get a I'm famous lol visa in the UK.
Yes.
They have that in the US, but in the UK it's like when I first applied, I was like, can I say it? Can I like use my YouTube for this? And they were like, no. And I was like, cool, thank you, noted. Unsubscribe, whatever.
My manager's contract with me, we had to remove a section that mentioned music, and it makes sense. My manager wanted to make sure that if I put out another thing like What Have We Done, and we put it on iTunes, that he has a percentage of the sales, like if he's involved in the deal. But we had to remove it because it would raise questions about, wait, are you also a musician? In which case I would have needed more material.
No, I'm not. I just also sometimes like to make music. But it's almost like your hobbies are then threatened.
Exactly, because if I included music in, I would need to back it up with my application. I would need to give them.
Hello,
material.
I got Usher to write me a letter of recommendation.
Exactly, to which I would go, obviously not.
Who am I going to get to write a recommendation that he liked my YouTube song?
I've been involved in musical projects.
You know, Dodie just got a visa, though.
Yes, she has the same visa status as I do.
Oh, she didn't do any of the work, though, so that's why she's not in this video. I don't need those Dodie views. I could get Josh on. He did all the work.
Manager Josh, probably also a better YouTuber by this point to get this guy. Oh, I used to be a thing. I'm sure you. Like, there's some older generation fans who probably know.
So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, be sure to watch my playlist of other British vs. American videos. They're pretty good. And you can also check out Tim's channel in the description. Make some cool short films and support him in his extraordinary alien pursuits. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.
Bye.